Hi, everyone. It's Dr. Karen, the Women's Midlife Specialist. And I just love the lab here that I'm going to review with you because, well, it challenges something that I haven't done yet with you. And I think it's good for everyone, whether these labs are similar to yours or not. So here we go. We're going to call this lovely lady TD, and she's 53 years old. She's past menopause. She's not on any hormone replacement therapy. And look what we've got, low in everything. It's almost as if she's had her ovaries removed, but there's no mention of any ovaries removed. But she is low in everything. In fact, this is the lowest readings that ZRT will give you for all of the estrogens and DHEA. And I don't think up to this point we've even had someone with this low of DHEA before. We have had estradiol, but I rarely see this low of DHEA. Okay, so this lovely lady is depleted. And this really does worry me because it just seems like it was yesterday that this is how I felt. And once you've experienced how it feels to just be depleted, I don't think you ever forget it. So it's just what keeps me working toward helping women get and correct their hormones as quickly and safely as possible. So this is what's going on. Check it out. Low estradiol. She doesn't even register. She's got low progesterone. Her progesterone to estrogen ratio can't even be calculated because you can't calculate basically zero into anything. And her estriol, too low to measure. Estrone, too low to measure. Testosterone is even low. DHEA is so low, ZRT cannot even measure it. The cortisol, when we look at these graphs, you can see that the cortisol is in the normal range for her. For someone at say around 8 a.m. in the lower end of normal, but it at least registers on the scale. I was glad to see that. But bang, 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 bang. Yikes. I don't like it. So let's go and look at some of these symptoms and see what we find. Okay. So because this is such a significant lack of hormones, I circled a lot of things or blocked out a lot of things to make it easy for you to look at it as an overview. So the arrows are what TD registers as or rates as severe, and I put ovals around these, and they include severe stress, elevated triglycerides, decreased libido, and decreased stamina. Everything else, what a beautiful lady. What an amazing, beautiful lady. I mean, she's got no hormones and she's got four severe symptoms. TD, you're amazing. Okay, so look at these moderate symptoms. She's got a lot rated under moderate: hot flashes, night sweats, vaginal dryness, foggy thinking, mood problems, morning and evening fatigue. Big surprise there, right? Sugar craving, I didn't block that, but that is a moderate. Weight gain in the waist, I didn't mark that, but that is a moderate. Nervous, that's another mood issue. This is weight gain also in the hips, and high cholesterol. So, TD, how are we going to take care of you, my love? So, to really care for you holistically, we've got to look at this entire picture, right? That's why I can't just read sex hormones. I got to read the whole 9 yards. So, here's our big four. You got five. This is high and low cortisol, but we've got these four. And metabolic syndrome symptoms are way up there. So that's the number one. Then we've got low estrogens and low progesterone, low androgens. Well, we know that exists because that is measurable. We don't have a real measurable way to say metabolic syndrome unless we've got classic conventional defined metabolic syndrome, which is high cholesterol, which she reports here, and high triglycerides, high blood pressure, and weight, enlarged weight, or uh, waist, and we've got a 36 inch with a BMI of 29. So basically, this is classic metabolic syndrome. So we've got these bad boys, high cortisol, right next to low cortisol. So these are problematic. Yes, metabolism is in there, but that's kind of down the list. We fix this might get fixed, right? Okay, so we don't need to be him hawing around about any more assessment. We know what to do, and we know what to do right now. Now, if you looked at the graph that we have on our website, you would say, oh goodness, what do I do? Because I don't have a progesterone to estrogen ratio. And so, in those situations, almost always one product, Hormone Heaven, is going to be enough. So, you are less than 1.3. We don't know if you're greater than 49 or not because you're so depleted. So, since you're so depleted, it's we don't know, are you greater than 49 or less than 49? So we're going to go with one product. Now, repeating the labs in, say, 3 to 6 months are going to be important for you, and it'll tell us whether or not we need to tweak this up or add this or what. But right now, I think we need to do 2 pumps twice a day, and that's what I would do if I was sitting in your shoes. Now, I want to point out one thing here about this estrone of less than zero point 0.4. Basically, just can't measure it. It's so low. It's a nice thing. I want to just tell you, it's a nice thing. So I'm not concerned about, even though we've got a BMI of 29, I'm not concerned about conversion of estrone. I'm just not concerned because I believe you inherited some very good genes that help you eliminate your hormones. So the elimination system is very let's just say you got some good genes and you're eliminating quite well. And maybe, my darling, you're eliminating a little too well. Just kidding. I'd much rather be eliminating my estrogens and progesterone than not, because it's a lot easier to fix high elimination because you can replace, but it's more difficult to fix a system that has genes that are slow eliminators. You got to fix your gut. You got to be very strict on your diet. We want you to be strict on your diet anyway because of metabolic syndrome, but I'm going to get there. In any event, don't take this for granted yet. Okay, don't take this for granted yet. But when you retest after you've been on Hormone Heaven, and we need to see, do we need to pump it up or not? This is when we're going to know. I highly recommend rechecking that estrone because we want to know what you're doing with it. And I have a good sneaky suspicion you're going to be quite pleased with your mom and dad with what genes you inherited. Okay, so let's move on. What about that poor little DHEA that is so freaking low, TD, that ZRT can't even measure it? So we got to start on something. DHEA, micronized, 5 milligrams for 2 to 4 weeks, and then pop it up to 10 milligrams. Now, is this going to be enough for you? I don't know. I really don't. So again, in about 3 months or so, I would highly recommend rechecking this. Another thing, one of your symptoms is vaginal dryness. I would recommend the Happy Hoo Hoo. This has some additional progesterone. Here's something I've never shared with you guys of the research. The one hormone, the one sex hormone that is absorbed the best through the vagina is progesterone. So there is a small amount of progesterone in the Happy Hoo Hoo, and this will help increase your progesterone as well. Not too much, just enough because I made sure that Young Hormones, all the products are interchangeable with each other and keeping you balanced. Okay, so that is what I'm recommending here. Now, also, I have to say, when I use the Happy Hoo Hoo, I use it every other day because, well, my hormones are, I'm a fast metabolizer as well, and which is good genes, right? That's just a good thing. And so I do need a lot of progesterone. And what I kind of like is I do like to feel moistness down there. I like the fact that I use it every other day and can feel that moisture down there. That helps the outer area of my vajayjay too. And it also tells me I'm absorbing a little bit of those nice healthy hormones through the upper part of my inner thighs as well. So this will help with the DHEA as well. So I'm just giving you these little tweaks, okay, that I haven't necessarily, that I can recall, shared. I just come up with these things when they, uh, you know, present themselves. And this particular time is the perfect time. Okay, so time will tell if oral DHEA at 10 milligrams is going to be enough. And this other using Happy Hoo Hoo will help as well. And here's the big thing. Now we're moving into that severe category here, stress. We got some work for you to do. And here's what we've got. Your stress levels are rated as severe. And we know, here's the zebra, and the stripes are coming off. And this stress stimulates the adrenal glands, these little guys that sit on top of the kidneys, and that secretes cortisol, and that affects all of our systems, not just endocrine, digestive, and nervous systems, which we have these mood changes and digestive changes and all our hormone changes. It also affects every other system, including our immune system. So, stress, my darling, is critical to get under control. So, here's the fun exercise, and I'm going to call it the not so fun exercise because it makes you sit back and contemplate something very, very, very important. Something I just can't underestimate, that I really have to emphasize. Stress is a killer. So stress is literally a killer, and you're more important than that. You're more important than anything else that is causing your stress. So I got two questions for you to contemplate and think about and spend some time on. Literally write it down, write the answers down to these two important questions. If you had all the money and time you could ever need or want, what would you be doing right now if you had all the money and time you could ever need or want? What would you be doing right now? The second question, what do you want people to say about you at your funeral? As if you were a fly on the wall, what would you want people to say about you at your funeral? These two questions, my darling, will bring you clarity. They will bring you clarity to what is most important to you in your life. And these are the main things, pretty much the only things that you need to focus on. Everything else is less important. And if those things are causing stress, you need to eliminate them. So, clarity is everything. Stress is a killer. Ask yourself these two questions and put yourself first. So, what are we going to do for your adrenal glands while you are the warrior of getting rid of the things that are not important in your life? Well, we really do need to support them with some adaptogens. So, adaptogenic herbs are very important. I love Adrenavive and I love adaptogen and I love adrenal. You're not a good candidate for adrenal. I use adrenal only when cortisol is low. I use Adrenavive and Adaptinol when cortisol has at least once in a course of a day normal. And once in the course of the day, I'm going to use either one of these. Now, Adrenavive doesn't have the nutrients that the adrenal glands need. Adaptinol has the nutrients plus the adaptogenic herbs. Now, I tend to favor Adrenavive only because it's not just the adrenal glands that need the adequate nutrients. Your whole body does. It's impossible to get them in your food. So I generally recommend people start on Adrenavive with a comprehensive nutrient source. So if you're already on a good comprehensive nutrient supplement. And I'm telling you, that's got to include your multivitamin and minerals, your omega-3 fatty acids. You're not going to get that enough in your diet. Needs to include a CoQ10, so important for your mitochondria to make energy. Needs to include extra antioxidants. Needs to include an anti-inflammatory like curcumin. And this is why I generally recommend the one that I do recommend, which is the comprehensive nutrient packs from Life Extension, because they're very reasonably priced with all of that in there and they come in packets. So in review, this is what I highly recommend. Hormone Heaven, 2 pumps twice a day. Happy Hoo Hoo, at least 3 times a week. DHEA, 5 milligrams for 2 to 4 weeks. Pop it up to 10 milligrams. Adrenavive, 2 capsules daily. And then your comprehensive nutrient packs, 1 packet a day. Then in about 3 to 6 months, retest. So, TD, I hope this was helpful for you. It was a lot of fun and challenge and enjoyment to do this for you today. And I wish you the best of luck. Let us know how you're doing. And you go, girl. I know you can do it. And for me, give me a thumbs up and let me know how you like this video. Okay, have a wonderful day and be good.